All right, neighbor, the last time we was together, I did a little Blackberry story for you. I called it Mischief Part 1. This right here is Mischief Part 2. Now I'm going to ask you again, have you ever gotten into any mischief when you was growing up? And I'm going to ask you again not to lie to me, because you're not going to look good with your nose way out here. So let's don't do that. Let's just start thinking. Maybe you'll share some of your stories with me. I would love to hear them. Blackberry is not the only thing that caused me to get involved in mischief from time to time. Let me tell you that my daddy one time took on the responsibility of delivering the Birmingham News. Now, this paper route was in a mill village. I'm not going to tell you which one. There's 5 of them down there, and we're just going to let that be broad. We're not going to get too specific with it, okay? I know it's been 40 years, but still. Now, Daddy had a strategy. Now, let's remember, this is an early Sunday morning paper. Daddy leads music at the church. Mama plays piano. We got to get done, get back home, get ready for church. So Daddy would take that Sunday paper and us youngins. He would assign us each a street. He'd put one off at street 1, one at street 2, one at street 3. He'd circle back around, pick up the kid at street 1. You see what I mean? And we just keep doing it until we got that paper route covered. Don't be late when he was picking you up. That's important. You would improvise any way you could, in my dad's vernacular, legally do it. You were going to get done with your street on time, right? Now, the second thing you need to know is every newspaper customer you got is unique, has their own set of circumstances in life, and they will give you specific instructions about what they want done with their paper. Now, there was a lady in this mill village who had an agreement with my dad, who passed it on to us. Once he passed it on, you better go by it. Brother Leather still preached real good revivals in our bathroom. None of us wanted to be the congregation for that revival. You follow me? So this lady would always leave her screen door unlocked on Saturday night. We were to slide the paper behind the screen door, lock the door, and go on. One Saturday night, I got to her house. Now, I say Saturday night, we're talking about 5 o'clock Sunday morning, between 5 and 6. I get to her house, and the screen door is locked. Well, what am I going to do? Am I going to bang on the door at 6 o'clock in the morning and wake her up? That didn't sound too smart. You didn't go to the mill village and start banging on doors when it was still dark outside. It was not safe. You follow me? You did want to go home, right? The door's locked. I can't put the newspaper behind the door. And I wound up putting it on the swing. Yeah, it's the highest place, most secure place I could find. And I had to make this decision snap style, because I had to be at the end of this street when my daddy came to pick me up. Or there would be a serious discussion if I wasn't. I put the paper in the swing and I went on. We get home from church that day. The phones ring. It's this lady. Whoever delivered my paper didn't do it right. Well, what did they do? I always tell them to slip that paper behind my screen door on the front porch, close the door, lock it, and that way my dog, who I have to let stay outside at night, don't get to the paper because he will tear it up. Well, they didn't put it behind the screen door this morning. That dog just tore my paper, slapped to pieces. Of course, Daddy says, we'll be right over. Now, any newspaper person worth their salt always had a couple of extra papers just for this reason. So Daddy looks around and said, who had this street? And I said, it was me. He said, come on, go with me. We get in the car and he tells me what that lady told him. I said, Daddy, that door was locked. I couldn't get it behind the door. I couldn't unlock it. I put it on the swing. I tried. We get over there, and that lady's just fuming. Just need to get my paper. Even after Daddy gave her the extra paper he had ready to give her, I don't know why. And my son says the door was locked from the inside. No, it was not. I always did. And she wasn't having it no other way. That she had left that door unlocked. And I'd refused or failed to put her paper in its proper place, and her little doggie tore her paper up. Bless her heart. Daddy was the kind of fellow that would take the adult's word. In that day you could. Nowadays not so much always. So you know what happened to me, don't you? Daddy got me home, and Brother Leather preached a revival that the results of it took a little while to wear off. You with me? And my mind started turning. Now, when I was growing up, you didn't want a kid's mind turning, and you be on the negative side of it. I'm not going to tell you details. But you know, Halloween came up not long after that. And this lady had 5 or 6 apple tree saplings in her side yard. You know, somebody went over there on Halloween night and chopped every one of them down. But every one of them. She had to start all over. I'm not fixing to tell you details, but I will say this. I have gone back to the boy I used to be over the years many times. And I have asked him, could you not have done something a little bit different? You know, he's a stubborn cuss. What would I do different? All she had was apple trees. There was nothing else for me to do. They had to come down. And he won't apologize to this day. As a man, I'm very sorry for what that boy did. But that boy still has those stripes that Brother Leather left, and he ain't fixing to apologize. The lesson you get here, neighbor, is be careful when you cause trouble to come to somebody else by telling a lie. It will bite you somewhere down life's highway. I ain't telling you nothing else about that. You have a great day. Let me hear about some of your missions. By the way, subscribe to our little channel here. Hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let's talk. Let's have some conversation. I know I'm not the only one that got into mischief when I was growing up. You did too. Years have gone by. It's okay to talk about it now. And we'll probably laugh about it now together. Not so much back then, right? You have a great day. I will see you soon, and we'll have some other stories for you on a lot of different things. I hope you enjoyed this one. God bless your hearts. We love you. Bye-bye.